Hey everyone, so it's Wednesday, which means it's hump day, which it also means it's my day, Tay's day. Um, sort of a crazy day, so, well, I'm still going to take a lot of time because this is a cool topic. But I'm talking about the Oscars this week, or that happened this past weekend. I will admit, one, I didn't watch most of the Oscars. I watched the red carpet interviews and stuff beforehand. I watched basically none of the Oscars themselves. Um, I did see part of an interview with James Franco. He sort of looked high, sort of talked high, and a lot of people are complaining about that. I'm not going to go any further in that because I honestly don't want to say he was or he wasn't. Um, Anne Hathaway, I love. Some people have been bitching also about her skills as a hostess, but I don't know. I love her anyway. Didn't really watch her though. And out of the movies that were nominated for Best Film, I actually have only seen one or two of them. I saw Black Swan. I loved it. Natalie Portman did an amazing job. Everyone did an amazing job. The music was great. It sort of creeped me out. And by sort of, I mean a lot. So, yay, I guess. I really want to see King's Speech, or The King's Speech. I love Colin Firth. I need to see that at some point. He probably did an amazing job. I mean, he must have if he got an Oscar for it. And then I think Toy Story 3 was also nominated for Best Film, Best Picture. I'm not sure. Can't remember again. But if it was, that was an amazing movie. I definitely cried at several points during it, but I loved it. So, what I really saw from the Oscars were the dresses that a bunch of the women wore. So, I want to talk about those. I'm going to start with Nicole Kidman, and I'm going to put these pictures up afterwards. I'm going to post them of the ones I talk about just so we have reference of what I was talking about and you don't think I'm completely crazy. But it's going to be on the Tumblr, not on this YouTube channel. Um, Nicole Kidman's dress, I've been sort of going back and forth about how much I like it. I think that it is, for the most part, a gorgeous dress. Color works great with her skin. The necklace is amazing. Um, the shoes kind of complement her hair and balance it out very well. Embroidering on the dress and like the sort of shiny sequins going on, I think is really good. The only part that sort of throws me off is this little sort of little like bump outwards and like these little wings she's got going on, because I feel like from certain angles it makes her look like she sort of has second hips, like two pairs of hips. Um, Maybe if they're a little lower, I'd feel a little more comfortable with it. But I'm not gonna knock it like 100% because it's not the worst dress in the world, and there are just parts of it that I find really beautiful. Sort of like in like the floral pattern going down the side also just looks really great. Um, Next, I'm gonna talk about a series of dresses. Um, and I apologize that I keep looking down away from the camera because I'm sort of looking at the dresses as we speak on the screen. For the next one, I'm going to go from right to left because I'm saving the best of this series for last. First up is Hilary Swank. She had this sort of silverish grayish dress, sleeveless, I think, strapless, that sort of goes all the way down and sort of looks like it has some sort of texture going down from here down to her waist, and then once it hits her waist, it sort of billows outwards and gets these sort of tassels coming off of it. And I think that the tassels do add flavor to it. Makes her look a little less chic than a lot of the other, or not chic, sleek than a lot of the other women, just because these tassels sort of add volume to her and not in sort of the um, normal sort of puffy way. These are more like a frilly way, but I don't even know how to describe it. But I thought it looked nice on her. Then we have Sandra Bullock. Um, I loved her dress. It was bright red, sleeveless again. She wore her hair sort of up and then back, and she just sort of looked really good wearing that dress. Form fitting, as are most of these dresses. Um, Slight cut down further here. Excuse me. And I thought it just sort of was bold and bright, and it worked very well for her. Then we come to who I believe is Michelle Williams, though I can't really recognize her. Um, she's wearing this sort of half sleeve, no, quarter sleeve, half sleeve dress that goes all the way down, that sort of conforms with her body. and you can see like the outlines of certain parts of her in different angles because of the way it shimmers, and I just was not a fan of her dress. Um, I thought it sort of looked like she was wearing, I don't know, like paper towels over her body that just sort of clung to her, or like, I think it's the dress with the hair. The dress is white, and then her hair is this sort of bleachish blonde, and it's really close cut, like close cut that sort of sweeps there, and I didn't like how it all worked together, unfortunately. Oh well. Next up is Mila Kunis, or however the hell you say her name. She's wearing a lavender dress with sleeveless with straps. Um, and there's sort of bits on the side that you can see like patches of skin, I believe, or at least it looks like you can see skin. And I thought her dress was gorgeous. Um, it's sort of got some tassels going on, but not to the same extent as Hilary Swank's dress. Uh, it looked great on her. I thought that it fit her personality very well. Um, it seems like a little more lighthearted and carefree than a lot of these dresses. So that's sort of how I picture her as being. So I liked it. Um, and she was just sort of striking poses all night that were really good looking. And then we get to Kate Blanchett. Oh, and that was a good like, I feel like for a lot of people I would not like the dress she wore, but on her it works. I think just because she has just, I'd love her so much, and she has this fierceness to her, like a feminine fierceness where she has these weird little like shoulder things that cut out and then cut straight down, then cut straight back in, but it looks really good. It's sort of like, I can sort of see like influence from like suits of armor or something like that going on, and it really works. She's got the center is sort of an empty circle with embroidered all around in sort of a darker peach um, tone, darker beige, darker peach tone. Her hair is not overwhelmingly distracting. The dress is not overwhelmingly distracting. It just sort of makes her look almost like a warrior on the red carpet, and I really liked that. I Yeah, I love her. Next, I'm going to talk about a series of black dresses because there were quite a few people that apparently really like to wear black this year on the red carpet, which you do see sometimes, not always super large amounts. And this one, second and fourth people, I don't actually know who they are. One was named Maria something, I think, and the other one, I don't know what her name is. The one on the very end, the fourth one, her dress was, it was beautiful, but it was sort of, I felt, blah compared to a lot of these other dresses. Looks sort of like a prom dress would be, except for all black. Not many people wear all black to prom. She looked elegant, but it didn't really do anything for me. And then the second one, I really liked. I really liked sort of the idea of having one sleeve on one side that sort of goes all the way down with sort of the silver lining at the end. I don't know, and then the other side being sleeveless. I prefer a little color though in dresses like that, so it works. Sort of reminded me of some stuff I think I've seen Beyonce wear in the past. Although I honestly don't know. I think Beyonce's definitely had like silver, I think, on it too. And then Reese Witherspoon is the first one, and she was looking good in her dress. It was very simple, um, elegant, sleeveless, strapless. Had a white sort of like a white band across the top, and then after that, just all the way down, sort of form fitting down through the thigh area, and then sort of billows out again. And I thought it just worked for her. It sort of goes. I think it sort of went with her sort of. She's not over the top, and her dress was also not over the top, and I like that about it. And then Helena Bonham Carter. I mean, she almost. I feel like anytime I picture her wearing anything, it's black. So this was sort of a given. She looks very Bellatrixy in this, not as crazy, insane, crazy hair. Her hair was still sort of up in that, but it wasn't as messy. It was a controlled, crazy, insane. Sort of had a corset feel to the top of the dress. It was sort of ribbed. I keep saying sort of, whatever. And then sort of straps going down the sides that were making these patterns, and then sleeves that go all the way down. She was also carrying a fan. I think it was a fan as an accessory. That was black with some white. Okay, and then last are Anne Hathaway's dresses. It's a series of 8 that I'm going to talk about, and I really liked most of them. First one, red. I'm starting with top left and working across, and then going bottom left and working across. First one was red. Hair was down. It was a dress, pretty simple, nothing overly extreme. I liked it. Didn't like scream amazingness to me, but it looked decent. Her second one, I really loved the top half of the dress up to about here. I don't know if you can see it, at least from the picture I'm looking at. It's sort of this checkered Greek mosaic-y pattern going across the top and silvery color there going down. I felt that at certain angles it didn't fit her very well, or at least it made her look, her hips look a little larger than they really are, but that's how it goes. Third dress was probably my least favorite dress of all of hers. It looks like it has sort of like, it covers her full body, neck, all the way down to her arms, all the way down to her knee, or her ankles, etc., etc. Reminds me a little bit of parts of what Scarlett Johansson was wearing, except for Scarlett Johansson's was like burgundy-ish. I mean, this works, but I don't think it worked for her as well. Like, you can it shows off her body really nicely, but I just didn't like the dress on her. It made her feel cold and not in a good way. Fourth one is blue. It's this really deep, shiny blue, and I think it looked good, but I feel like she gets sort of lost in the dress because the blue is just so overwhelming. I really do like how the top fits across both her shoulders and just cuts across her chest, and it fits right. It just doesn't, the color I think is too much. Her fourth dress I loved. I don't know what much, it's sort of gray and black. It has a floralish pattern on it, and just, it looks elegant, but a more muted elegance, I guess. Her next one was her tux that she wore with the bow tie. I love bow ties, so bow ties are cool. With sort of skinny pants going on. I mean, I prefer her in dresses, but that worked for her too. Her seventh one was a beige dress. She looked wonderful in it. It worked for her. Wasn't too overwhelming. I liked the variability in the torso area of the dress. The cut was great, and it was just really, it was an interesting dress. And then her last dress was the one she wore on the red carpet, and that one I loved. She wore this sort of deep red lipstick, and then this bright red dress. And her dress, along with the lipstick, made her look almost like her skin tone was ivory, and I thought that made her look really regal. And regal Anne Hathaway is like Princess Diaries Anne Hathaway, so it's just a plus. Red top goes all the way down, sort of frills out at the bottom, and I think it sort of trailed a little bit, which I thought looked really good as well. But this is, yeah. So, I hope that wasn't too awkward. I'm not, like, I don't know the most about dresses, but I felt like that was decent. What I liked, what I didn't like. So, I'm gonna say that I need to go study for my midterm that I have tomorrow, and I have to go meet a study group in like 15 minutes. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, and next week, I am on spring break next week, so I don't actually know if I'm going to be here or not. Well, I mean, I'm going to be in Miami, so that's cool, but I'll have to see how next week turns out, recording-wise. I'm pretty sure I'll have my computer with me, so I'll be able to upload something, but just in case, I might see you in 2 weeks. If I do, I'll have someone else post or something like that. So have a wonderful afternoon, evening, week, life, and I will see you next time. Signing off. Tay.